In the vast universe of Dragon Ball Z, an unexpected bond emerges between two unlikely characters, Piccolo and Gohan. This relationship transcends the typical master-student dynamic and evolves into a profound father-son connection, a transformation marked by significant psychological depth. Let's explore this narrative through the lens of Enneagram types and Jungian archetypes, diving into the core motivations that drive these two characters together and define their roles within the Dragon Ball Z ecosystem. For Piccolo, we propose a dominant Enneagram Type 8, the Challenger. His core desire is to assert control, to never be at the mercy of another, aligning with his initial role as a villain. Yet beneath this tough exterior lies a core fear, vulnerability, and weakness. In the ecosystem of Dragon Ball Z, initially ruled by power and dominance, Piccolo's survival rule revolves around strength and self-reliance, traits he believes safeguard him from exploitation. Gohan, on the other hand, starts as a Type 6, the loyalist. His world begins shrouded in uncertainty, fearing the loss of security and the unknowns that threaten his loved ones. He seeks guidance and support, initially found in the structured world of his family. But when thrown into chaotic situations, his core desire to find security pushes him toward Piccolo, who unexpectedly becomes the compass guiding him through perilous adventures. Before their paths cross meaningfully, Piccolo's formative ecosystem is shaped by the legacy of his father, King Piccolo, and his desire to surpass Goku, his father's nemesis. His strategy of dominance is rewarded when he defeats foes, asserting his strength and independence. However, this strategy is rooted in a deep wound, the inability to trust others, fearing betrayal or manipulation. When he encounters Gohan, a young boy thrust into a world of combat, something shifts. The boy's innocence and vulnerability activate dormant facets of Piccolo's psyche, challenging him to adopt a different approach. Gohan, meanwhile, begins his journey protected by his father's legacy, which sets high expectations for the young Saiyan. The absence of his father during critical moments leaves Gohan seeking a figure who can offer both protection and challenge. Piccolo, initially a harsh mentor, becomes that figure, rewarding Gohan's courage and resilience, while also evoking the boy's fears of inadequacy and failure. Together, they embark on a chronological arc that intertwines their destinies. Piccolo's first real transformation occurs when he sacrifices himself to save Gohan during the Saiyan saga. This moment marks a pivotal turning point where his survival rule of self-preservation is challenged by a newfound loyalty and care for Gohan. The act is not just one of protection, but a revelation of growth, a willingness to embrace vulnerability for someone he cares deeply about. Gohan's arc mirrors this evolution. Under Piccolo's mentorship, he transforms from a timid child into a formidable warrior. The once purely defensive strategy of seeking protection shifts as he faces fears head-on, stepping into his potential as a fighter. Yet, the relationship is not without its shadows. Piccolo's initial harshness mirrors Gohan's internalized belief that strength equates to worth. This belief, left unchecked, could spiral into a stress pattern where Gohan becomes overly dependent on external validation rather than trusting his own instincts. Piccolo's stern mentorship could have remained a shadow aspect, reinforcing Gohan's fears, if not for the moments of tenderness and mutual respect that evolve between them. As Piccolo integrates his shadow self, he learns to balance his protector role with that of a nurturer, offering Gohan not just discipline, but genuine care and understanding. Gohan, in turn, learns to trust his abilities, finding the balance between reliance on others and confidence in his own strength. This dynamic creates a mentor-student relationship that blossoms into a father-son bond, offering repair for both of their wounds. The question remains, how do we recognize the survival rules we live by? Are they still serving us, or have they become shadows that need integration? As we dive deep into the bond between Piccolo and Gohan, we see echoes of our own lives, of mentors who guide us, of fears we face, and of relationships that shape us. What survival rule do you recognize in yourself, and is it still helping you become who you want to be? The evolution of Piccolo and Gohan's relationship serves as a compelling narrative that demonstrates the profound transformation that can occur when individuals confront and integrate their shadow aspects. At its core, this relationship reflects an intricate dance of archetypes. Piccolo, initially embodying the role of the shadow and warrior, transitions into the mentor and protector. Meanwhile, Gohan, the child and the innocent, matures into the hero archetype, learning to harness his power without losing his inherent empathy. In this ecosystem, Piccolo's initial harshness is not merely disciplinarian. It is the manifestation of his Enneagram Type 8 Wing 9 personality, a complex blend that seeks control and power to mask vulnerability, yet yearns for peace and harmony. His fear of betrayal and his desire to protect himself had long kept him isolated, a lone warrior in a world of constant threats. However, the act of sacrificing himself for Gohan is a breakthrough moment indicating Piccolo's movement towards the healthy aspects of his type. Through this selfless act, he begins to overcome his fear of vulnerability, allowing trust and connection to enter his life. Gohan's journey reflects the influence of his Enneagram Type 9 with a one wing. Initially driven by a desire to avoid conflict and maintain inner peace, he grapples with the pressure to meet external expectations, striving to align his actions with his core values. His time under Piccolo's guidance forces him to confront his tendency to retreat into complacency when faced with challenges. The transformation is slow and multifaceted as Gohan learns to balance his inherent desire for harmony with the courage required to face adversaries. The dynamic tension in their relationship is marked by moments that test both characters' limits. During the intense training sessions in the wilderness, Gohan's fear of failure often surfaces, driving him to push beyond his perceived limits. Piccolo's stern approach initially amplifies this fear, but over time, Gohan learns to interpret the harshness as a form of care, a challenging yet supportive presence that encourages growth. In parallel, Piccolo's exposure to Gohan's innocence and unwavering trust challenges him to soften his edges, to integrate compassion alongside strength. These interactions echo a universal human experience, the journey of mentorship and growth. Each mentor-student relationship carries with it the potential for deep psychological transformation. As mentors, we may find ourselves reflecting on our own unresolved fears and desires projected onto those we guide. As students, we learn not only from the wisdom imparted, but also from observing the vulnerabilities of our mentors. The relationship is symbiotic, a reflection that can illuminate areas of our lives we might otherwise overlook. Iconic moments in their journey highlight this interplay. Consider the Cell games, where Piccolo's encouragement and belief in Gohan's potential become pivotal. His shift from a rigid taskmaster to a supportive guide empowers Gohan to step into his own power. The climax of this arc showcases Gohan's transformation, no longer a child seeking approval, but a warrior who has embraced his capabilities. This evolution is not without struggle. Gohan's initial reluctance to unleash his true strength reveals the internal conflict of his Type 9 nature, the fear of disrupting the peace he cherishes. As they face adversities together, both characters' narratives unfold within the broader Dragon Ball ecosystem, where individual growth catalyzes collective transformation. Their bond influences the group dynamics, with each character contributing to a shared goal of protection and survival. The interactions with other characters, like Goku, whose presence embodies the archetype of the eternal hero, further enhance their development. Goku's approach to challenges as opportunities for growth inspires both Piccolo and Gohan, adding another layer to their psychological evolution. In contemplating this relationship, we are invited to examine our own lives. What mentors have shaped us, knowingly or unknowingly? How have our interactions with them uncovered our shadows, prompting us to confront fears or desires we might prefer to ignore? This introspection is vital, for it is through such relationships that we find the courage to integrate our shadows, enabling us to move towards wholeness. The story of Piccolo and Gohan is not merely a tale of training and battles. It is a narrative of transformation, shadow integration, and the power of relationships to heal and elevate. It challenges us to look within and ask, are we embracing our vulnerabilities? Are the survival rules we live by empowering or imprisoning us? In their journey, we see the potential for redemption and the possibility of becoming more than the sum of our parts, a testament to the transformative power of connection, compassion, and courage.